Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2. It is still turn 220, and we are about to see exactly how many Dark Elves Silostra Deerfen and her army can take out. Because this is a lot of them, right? I mean, there's no sense hanging around here. Rather than estimating it, let's just attack and see how many are in the little window. So, the battle is favoring us, which I agree with. I think that's a perceptive read of the situation here. It really is just like a ton of their most basic infantry. They're going to have, between the whole lot of them, quite a few ranged units, and we do have to be careful, because indirect fire ranged units can have some serious advantages over our guys, but this really is just a bunch of like terrible garbage units, and it's a huge, huge number of them. I think we're going to get some really, really good Sword of Cain tornadoes off here. Maybe a couple of decent Vangeist's Revenges. Alright, the map looks like it is largely unobstructed, although I'm not digging all of these changes of elevation that I'm seeing drawn here. It'd be really cool if we could find some flat ground to shoot at them from. I think dark is lower, right? So is my deployment zone downhill from the middle of the map? Because that's not great. I don't know if the game actually models... okay, yes, my spawn zone is downhill from the middle of the map, but it's not so bad. It's not, like, terribly downhill. I don't know if the game engine actually models the fact that non-direct fire projectiles should have... I mean, direct fire projectiles too, but projectiles in general should have a superior range when fired from higher ground. I have no idea. So it looks like the ground is pretty flat, at least. It's an incline, but it's a what do you call it? It's a linear incline. It doesn't have a bunch of like rolls in it or anything. So we should be okay if we just start way back. Right? Like we're firing uphill, which is not great. Oh no, wait, never mind. There's like a shelf in this terrain right here. So anybody behind this isn't going to be able to see anything. Alright, I guess we do just stay up really close. I don't love this. This side, in particular, is going to have trouble. Maybe we just don't put a lot of people over there? Because, like, look at how the terrain bends there. We're definitely going to have to actually, like, move people up a little bit. Alright, where is Will? Will the Treacherous. Stand in the middle here. Be ready to buff our artillery. Silostra over here. Robert Bartholomew over there. And then, I mean, we have a bunch of melee, and they're pretty good melee, but I don't really know what I want to do with them. Like, some of them should probably be waiting in the forest. What if we put, like... I definitely want some depth guard nearby in order to potentially, like, receive a charge or something. There are a couple units of cavalry within the stack, within the whole larger group of them. And then we'll just keep some other units nearby to run through when stuff gets tough, I guess. Let's put one unit of Sirens over here, and then we're going to put these two over in the trees, and maybe take advantage of some Dark Elves who make some errors based on the fact that they can't see all of our units. Although it apparently is very difficult to actually be hidden in these trees. There we go. Okay. Yeah, alright, with that, I suppose we just get started. We may as well throw his buff up right away, because they are definitely in shooting range here. I suspect the Queen Bess is going to need all 5 charges of the ammo replenishment. And I guess we may as well start with the roars. I might not have led that enough. No, actually, that was really good. Okay, want to mess up the archers in particular. Oh, that held them in place for the cannon fire really well. Oh, look at this. Look at these guys trying to be sneaky. They are about to discover that they are in no position to be sneaky. Oh, also, I gotta remember to click this. So, I'm gonna hold off on the shanty for right now. You guys have been revealed. I'm just gonna have my Sirens try to box them in. If we can catch the cold ones from 2 sides and trap them, we just have the polearms come over and finish them off. I will throw this out right now. That looks so good right there. Because that's going to recharge endlessly. We have endless charges of that as long as we just keep getting in trouble. These guys think they're cool because they got spears and whatnot. We can handle that. Alright. Full arms, get on them. Got some pretty limited fire going on over here because of the weird terrain. But on this side, things are going very well. Robert should probably ride on these dudes. And actually, our Necrophex Colossus is running through his ammo rather quickly as well. Alright, so we just gotta remember to keep Silostra in melee combat as much as possible, because we gotta keep refreshing the Murder Tornado. Alright, you don't actually have to charge them. You charge those guys. Oh, the bats are getting away. Sirens form up and prepare. The gunners are actually firing actively right now. I don't want to distract them. Okay, they wanted to actually just fight with the bats. That seems terrible to me, but I'll let them. Oh, you guys didn't actually have attack orders. You just got attacked by... Alright. This is fine. Our depth guard should not have any problems here. These are just normal tier 1 spear infantry. I'm not concerned about getting overwhelmed by them. And the first big reinforcement army is here. We're not going to see the rest of that reinforcement stack enter until... Oh, no, wait. The first army wasn't 40 units, was it? Because remember, they can only have 40 units on the field at a time, so we might not see everything all at once. But honestly, I'm not too worried here. I think people are mostly have this stuff under control. It would be good if you would maybe reorient a little bit. I'm gonna turn our forces just a little. I want you to be like right here, facing kind of this way. Okay, there we go. Keep popping this. May as well re-ammo the Queen Bess while we're at it here. I mean, Silostra's got this under control. I'm not using our summons just yet. Because this is the phase of the battle where we're more likely to need them, I think. As the reinforcements come in. We did manage to break down that first army pretty quickly. We gotta make sure these guys don't get too separated. I want to have them finish off the Dread Knights, but they probably need to come home. Let's have you all in the forest. You've done a fine job. I guess we shouldn't withdraw while these guys are still fighting. Silostra is really out in there, huh? Well, she is murdering their lord. That's a pretty valuable thing to do. And we could definitely use some debuffing. Honestly, Silostra and Robert can just stay out here. They're so deadly. Really, really good at their jobs. Bring you guys back. The Sirens should be able to finish that on their own. Actually, Robert, why don't you bail out of there as soon as you can, because we might actually need some attention over here. He's riding. He's a hero. Even in death, he is a hero. Alright, Depth Guard. The time has come. This right here, this is shanty time. Alright, Depth Guard got out in front just in time. So this is the part where we need to start summoning things. Oh, also, I have many of my abilities again. Well, let's drop a tornado right there. Groups of archers do not get to just stand around and do whatever they want. We'll also drop some crabs. You guys are doing a fine job. You turn around and make sure those guys die. You keep these dudes down. We're probably going to keep most of our units in their defensive positions here. Reload the Colossus, because we're going to need to get that thing ticking constantly. And then this might be a time to start manually targeting enemies, because there are some things that we need to deal with, like this unit of archers probably needs to get dead. And that's something I don't want to leave up to the AI. We're going to have to burn out their melee units pretty quickly, actually. So why are they melee? They're ranged. The opposite of their melee units. Why don't you fire at those guys? And you Try to crush those guys real fast, and nobody chases. Everybody stay smart. This is actually probably under control. Robert, turn around and fight those guys. Seems like a fine time to apply some of your buffs. And then as soon as the crabs are up, it is also time for knights. Crabs up and getting attention. Tornado wandered out of them real fast, but, you know, we managed to get a rampage on those ranged units, and running into combat range of Silostra is not going to do them any favors. Yep, this is a problem that needs to get solved. Are we solving it? Are you guys solving it? Queen Bess is going to have to get involved here. Yep, as soon as those guys break. Summoned knights. You know what? This would be a really good time for a cavalry charge. Silostra's got more crabs available. Summon them out here and have them attack those archers. She's got the melee. The melee's under control. Just keep singing. Having a hard time selecting those crabs. Okay, there we go. I think I might have summoned them in too close. Marines in here. Cold ones think they can make a move. This is what happens when we don't completely eliminate people. Having a hard time getting units actually in on these guys. Robert, do it. The Depth Guard are having kind of a rough go of things, honestly. Seems like a fine time for a grenade. Oh, never mind. I think battle's over. Oh, I didn't even get to summon my second group of knights. Come on. You guys give up too easily. Yeah, Silostra's army is so incredibly powerful at this point. 63 losses. Who was dying? It was mostly Depth Guard, right? And they did some work, though. 144 kills. Yeah, actually just kind of a bonanza of murder for pretty much everybody. This must have been the unit of rifles that was like all the way on the inside left corner next to that big rock. Just didn't have a lot of clean firing time. The time when they were best able to shoot people, they had a bunch of Depth Guard in front of them. Although honestly, given the health of those Depth Guard, I wonder if maybe there wasn't a little bit of firing into the back of our units that went on there. Man, these armies are so poorly equipped that we get almost no ransom off of them. It's ridiculous. Alright, well, we got ourselves some Armor of Fortune. That is pretty good armor. I see no reason to stop. Let us continue on. You know what? I want to do it again. We absolutely could auto-resolve this. There's not really any danger of losing units. But it's fun. It's fun to use her army. It's not just a power thing. Although, obviously, it is sometimes fun to be very powerful in a game. But I just, I like the composition of her army. I like that this particular rifle-heavy comp we can get away with. With the other ones, you know, we're always getting enemies up in the rifle line and everything. But with Silostra being as powerful as she is, and all the summons, like, we get to have all of our gunpowder stuff, but I still get to, like, actually interact with the enemy army a lot more than I do in some of these other battles. Alright, we're just going to do the same thing. It was a good plan last time, and it's a good plan this time. You guys over here. Other Depth Guard on the other side. Serene's waiting in the back to approach. Or for the enemy approach, rather. Robert on the flanking side, Silostra on the combat side, and let's do it. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Are those guys in my arcs? Yes, sort of. I'm just gonna give our guys some manual targeting that will turn us toward the enemy a little bit more. And as ever, no chasing. This is a little awkward, actually, this terrain. They're gonna get right up on top of us before we can shoot at them. Ugh. Well, it probably won't matter. My guess is it won't matter. We could, obviously, we could fix this. What if I just had you guys move forward? Oof, you have to move way forward for that not to be a problem, though. That's right, we have to be on this part of the slope. At the very least. What does that look like? That's not so bad. That's not so far forward. And then we just grab all of you and sort of move you up to here. Okay, yeah, not ideal. I think I led too much with that one. That's not bad. Yeah, that was okay. We're losing firing time here because I didn't set up correctly. Alright, looks like they want to fight. Just throw all of Austria's buffs and debuffs out. Hey, everybody. Austria has a really fun group of summons, I think, is part of it. Like, it's fun to have cavalry units, is another part of it. I actually just really like cavalry. I like having the ability to maneuver around the enemy units and try to find holes and stuff. And we have not gotten to do a lot of that with this faction. It's like not really what we're about. Interesting that so many of their units broke all the way immediately. But like their lord persevered and one unit of archers persevered. You would think the negative morale effects of all of your friends breaking would immediately break the last couple. Some of those dudes were stalwart. Also, did I seriously lose 25 figures? I guess we were taking some ranged fire. Yeah, one of the units of rifles is kind of damaged. But this might be the end of this faction again. I'm not sure if the army that we defeated in the field here was actually destroyed or not. Because we attacked this settlement this time, not that army. No, Corvishish still has 22 bodies. Alright, well, we'll probably have to kill him next turn then. But I'm pleased that this fell into their hands and not into the hands of the main Dark Elf faction, who might have had the money to, like, actually fortify it. Nope, okay, faction destroyed again. We are indeed the scourge of Haggrafe. Let's get those defensive structures up, because you are going to be on the front lines of this war for a moment. So we need to get Kragroth Deep back, and then we need to get the Temple of Cain, which is the thing we've never had. I'm surprised with a name like Temple of Cain that it doesn't have a landmark structure associated with it. It's pretty weird. Okay, who else needs orders before we end the turn? Peggy Rains is probably right where Peggy Rains needs to be. We do not see any armies that are actually headed toward us. Right? Yeah, so just kind of chill in the middle here. Oh, interesting. Bilbali is now Count's territory. That's a problem. Or that might be von Karstein. Yeah, that's not great. Are these... Hold on, let's go look at our big list of objective cities. Miragliano is on there. Skavenblight is on there. What about the other... Is Magrita? Magrita is not. Take that, Tilia or Estalia, whichever one you are. I guess you must be Estalia. So we could come over here, we could grab Miragliano and Skavenblight pretty easily, them being right next to each other. This might be our next area of attack. Sartosa is also on the list. We're really not that far from done, huh? Yeah, we'll wage an undead on undead campaign. We grab those three, and then Khemri's not that far south, is it? Well, it's kind of far. Also this thing is happening here, so that's worth considering. But Peggy, stay where you are. What about Will? Will Amstrel. Oh, that's right. They have... Our enemies have stuff coming into the north. Alright, Will, you need to maybe sail for the Awakening. And also we need to build proper walls in some of these places. What about the blood swamps? Blood swamps, oh, doesn't even have the basic defensive structure. Alright. Well, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen here. Who is at war with who?
Test me at your peril.
So you're at war with the Dreadfleet. Dreadfleet's at war with both of you. Okay, these two are working together. That's not great for us. Well, I guess it's really not great for the Dreadfleet. But once they lose Poxmarsh, hopefully we can get it back. Be just a little bit careful. Remember, we're not at war with the Vampire Coast anymore. In fact, we have like a non-aggression pact and stuff. We are friends-ish with Luther Harkin, as much as we're friends with anyone. Alright, Amelia, you are still headed for a treasure map that is like, it's all the way down in the corner, right? Not all the way down in the corner. It's actually not that far from where she is now. Oh hey, this is a pretty noteworthy thing, the Black Pyramid of Nagash. You know what, I think it's in the mountains. There's a mountain range right here. I think that's what we're seeing there. Yeah, look at the map. Okay, so it's over in the mountains somewhere. Close to the Mount of Spiders. Highlands beyond the plateau. Alright. We'll figure that out. And Viola, you are also on treasure hunt duty? Oh yeah, you dug up that treasure map over there. Well, what else do we have? We still have never found this thing. There's a dragon stirring, awaking with fury. So there's a volcano up in that part of the map that we could go search. Oh no, there's two down here. So actually, Amelia is hopefully going to make us a huge amount of money soon. I kind of want to just send you over to the dragon thing. Fury. I'm still enjoying the treasure hunting, by the way. I think this is a really cool mechanic. I kind of wish that the puzzles were attached to these. Like when you find the right location, then you do one of those puzzles instead of ruin searching. Because the rewards are low enough on the puzzles, even though I like them, that it still doesn't really make a lot of sense to do ruin searches. Alright, let's see what retaliation looks like. I'm pretty confident that if Janash and Sekulil Spiteheart, that's a real Dark Elf name, were to move to Haggrave, we would absolutely crush them. They can't get to Grond in a single turn, I don't think. Yeah, see, he can't quite make it even in March mode. So I think they're just in really bad shape, and as far as we know, this is the entire Dark Elf army right now. I don't think we're that far from eliminating these guys, and then once we do eliminate these guys, we ride on the Von Karstein Islands down there. We're actually pretty close to ending this. We're definitely in that direction, at least. And that feels really good, because I'm going to be honest with you, the entire phase of the campaign where we were fighting through the southern jungles just felt interminable. Alright, so that's all the Dark Elves have. I don't think they're going to be able to put up too much of a fight. Vampire Coast is going to probably be able to take Poxmarsh. It does not have walls. I'm assuming it doesn't have a garrison structure at all. Maybe that's not reasonable. Yeah, there's only 9 units in that garrison. So that thing's going to fall right away. I do think it's interesting that the Khemri are following my hero around with a hero of their own, but they made no attempt to, like, wound us or anything. They just want to keep tabs on me. They want to know what I'm doing. Okay, that's cool. Would you like to maybe take some settlements? I'll just let you have all this stuff up here. I really only need the province that Nagorond is in. I wish there was a way to coordinate tactics with your allies. Because, like, all of this riding around and sacking stuff is not actually helping me. I suppose it helps them. Khemri don't have the easiest time making money. And because their troops don't cost them the upkeep, all the money they make, they get to just roll into serious infrastructure upgrades, which they really need. So I guess sacking makes a lot of sense for the Khemri here. It's just a bummer for me, because I could really use some assistance. Or rather, some assistance would really speed things up. So we want to use our eastern army up here to just keep taking over undefended settlements. Try to break down the Dark Elf economy as rapidly as we can. Wagner Helsicht attacked and won against Mary Amstrel, but it looks like did not actually take the province, or the settlement, because, man, the AI really, really loves sacking. To be clear, I don't think that the Khemri up here are sacking because it makes sense for them. I think they're sacking because the AI really loves sacking, regardless of whether or not that's the appropriate play. Whereas the Chaos still going strong. God, I can't wait till they're dead. It is entirely possible that all of the Eastern Realms are going to turn on each other when the Chaos invasion properly ends, and I just cannot wait for that day. Oh, what a day it will be. Leonard sailing out here with his 10,000 gold. The purple winds of magic are strangely absent around these parts. Well, we're certainly not taking minus 20% movement range. Okay, leadership down for everybody. What a shame. Our settlements are getting mildly harassed, like gently prodded at. What do we want to do? I guess let's just go down the list, right? So Silostra can take Kragroth Deep. May as well. We need it, right? And yep, her army's back at full, because we have really stacked a lot of replenishment. It's not as important for us to take everything that the Dark Elves own as it was for us to take stuff in the south, because there's no Skaven force to backfill or anything here. But we may as well, right? At this point, like, we're not too worried about having tons of public order issues in other parts of the Empire. Like, we can afford to devote a bunch of resources to making sure this area doesn't go crazy on us right now. Speaking of which, Scurvy Dog Pits. Do I even want these totems? I guess they could stay up for now. Next up, Peggy Rains does not move, right? We did not see any new... We could ride out and try to take down one of these Regiment of Renown navies. This would give us Rotting Prometheans. That also would give us... That can't be right. Okay, no, it's Deck Gunners and Rotting Prometheans. Let's have a look at the Regiment of Renown table. Oh, hey! These guys recruitable again? Because that would be pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, is it Rotting Promethean's Gunnery Mob? Was there a line break and I just stopped reading before the line break? No, that does say Rotting Prometheans. This is Pentelion's Pendant.
I have sailed the world.
Yep, Pentelion's Pendant. Okay. Interesting. So the text is just wrong. Well, actually, some armor-piercing, regenerating, Rotting Promethean shotgun dudes would be great to have. I've already forgotten. Which one is that? That's the southern one. That is only 18 units. Alright, let's get in the water. We're gonna hunt those dudes down. We're still close enough to everything that we could return and play defense if we had to. Peggy's going hunting. There are things of value for us to have. O'Bones McDonald probably wants to waylay the exotic goods hauler. Grab the skull reef and stuff on his way up. So let's just head in that direction. Pete Hodgesworth is back to full strength. Let's see. Grand here. We need Ashrak and the Great Arena. Great Arena is actually kind of defended. Ashrak is completely not, but tough for us to get over there.
All in, deckhands.
If I took Spite Reach, that's in a whole different province, and so it might be kind of a pain to get it all under control. Part of me wants to just ride to the Great Arena because I think we can take them even with the army, but the Retribution might not be something we can stand, because we might lose a lot of units doing that. I could just make a run for Ashrak. We gotta get it sometime, right? But maybe the right play is just stay put and continue to be a distraction.
What is your demand?
I guess we could ride over here and attack them and then sack them instead of taking them over. I know I was just trash-talking that very strategy, but it does leave us with the movement necessary to run away afterward. Yeah, alright, I think that's what we're going to do. His army is extremely basic. Hold on.
The sea brings death.
Okay, no, neither one of them is available. That's right, we lost them in that big battle. Okay. In that case, I think I'll replace them with just like a unit of melee, because we don't really need the bloated corpse for a siege battle. It probably will not provide any benefit at all. Alright, let's just go mortar our way through this.
Slaves, cattle.
All of our good units already cause terror. I guess you guys probably don't. And then armor-piercing damage and... magic resistance is very good on a siren.
Draw your blades.
Alright, let's see if we can maybe win this and keep this guy alive, because we currently have some office slots that are empty. Everybody who gets put in the position of treasury manager gets murdered. But probably that won't happen to you, Pete. Why don't you just pretend you didn't hear me say that? And it's a fairly valuable position. The ones we're occupying over it are all probably more valuable. But treasury officer is like 10% money from all of our buildings, right? That's got to be a considerable sum. We could probably do better than 5. In fact, we cannot. We won that gamble, and it's still only 5. Alright, apparently we're fighting by a huge cliff. This looks like a Vermintide level. Ah, that snow DLC that they released for the Karak Asgaraz DLC for the first game is so good. Alright, let's just start it. I mean, we're just going to run at them, right? I actually kind of like the spread out position. Although I probably should have moved our artillery over, because these guys are in the range of 2 towers. Well, whatever. I think we're just going to get sirens up on the towers and do the thing here. So, let's start with artillery fire on these guys and these guys. And then I'm going to have our melee move like this. I'm going to try to draw some of their units over to this side, thinking that's where we're going to climb up. That would be pretty nice if we could get a bunch of them drawn away so that we're not getting shelled quite as hard. And the gunners can form up like this. I know we're still shootable over here, but we can fire back and we're not in the range of too many towers. God, I love not fighting Skaven. Let's try to limit the number of ranged units they have to fire on us here.
Enemies, wild.
This is maybe not 100% ideal. They're spread way the hell out. Also, there is absolutely nobody in this tower box. Like, they just definitely don't have control of that tower. There we go. It caught up with reality eventually. Actually, I guess these guys should come up further down the wall, because they are closer to being able to do so. Send you up, not exactly where the artillery are firing.
They shall fall.
The Lord can jump up there as well.
Haste.
Come the ladders.
Bones and flesh.
Man, the performance gap between low-tier artillery and high-tier artillery is very sad. You can really feel the difference here. Alright, lured them close enough to the front of the wall that we get to do some actual damage here as our units climb. I think we should be able to take control of the wall. Don't think it should be that hard.
Above deck.
You know, I am going to move. It's a little bit of a shame to have the artillery stop firing, but let's move them out of the range of this tower. This tower already is loaded down with targets. We're not going to be able to stop it from firing no matter what we do. And unfortunately, our Lord cannot heal himself with Invocation of Nahek while he's on the wall. You gotta be careful. If he starts taking a lot of damage, we maybe need to move him down. Remember, he was wounded when he showed up. I just don't remember exactly how wounded. And we cannot heal him above the amount of HP he had at the start of the battle, I think. I'm reasonably sure that's true. You can definitely do this. Try to put this in a place where it's getting this unit and also as far to this side as possible. We're taking fire from the wall, which is not helping our morale. You guys are good. You can just get into firing positions. We do need to get back on that firing. Dark shards must be made to suffer. And these guys are really just a bunch of babies. Actually, also our sirens, a real bunch of babies. It looks like we're going to be able to take the whole wall, but I'd be lying if I said I was jazzed about how this is going. Alright, if we heal them and also get them out of direct fire range, I wonder if they will stop crumbling. Because it would be really cool for us if they would stop crumbling. Do I want to hit the melee defense in reload time? You know what? Yeah, just everybody on the wall, stay alive and fight back as best you can. I don't know where you guys are going. Please try to stay focused. Stay in the fight. Yeah, I mean, they're losing the wall pretty badly here. These witch elves are demoralizing to fight against. Both their rampages and their snarling. I bet they do a lot of snarling in battle. Okay, we have managed to repair this gunnery mob's morale level. We cannot heal units on the wall, as far as I'm aware with this. Yeah, cannot target if on a wall. So that's why I'm sending it down there. Alright, he is definitely taking some damage. Let's just go ahead and rebuff him. He's up here fighting with a death hag, which is not ideal. Don't chase, let them run away. Okay, so we popped their buff now. Yeah, I like this. I like where this artillery is landing. A lot of grouped up ranged units there. Still got gunfire coming up the walls. Yeah. All that snarling, it gets in people's heads. More than you might think it would. I used to go to a lot of roller derby matches, and there was a woman who played for our derby team who always showed up in like animal face paint, and she would snarl and make animal noises, and apparently it was very distracting, difficult to play against. I mean, also she was fantastic, so that didn't hurt. Fantastic and not afraid to fight.
At your service.
Alright, do we really need... I mean, we could throw another invocation down here. We still got a lot of magic to play with. If we can get down the walls... Oh! Fireballs being cast by their lord down there. Yeah, if we can finish taking the walls and get these guys back down, like here, let's see if we can withdraw the two Siren units that are having a really hard time. Keep our Lord and the healthy Sirens in. Like, you guys are healthy, you're just a bunch of big babies is all. Okay, this has got to be pretty close to over. Look at how many of their units are just completely shredded. Oh, the fireballs are not coming from there. They're coming from this sorceress way back in the, deep in the settlement. Well, alright. Not a lot we can do about that. Okay. The witch elves frenzied these sirens into destroying all of the witch elves. Wow. They really want this handgun mob dead. You know, I wasn't going to bring the gunner or the deckhand mobs up on the wall, but I guess we will. We're starting to really, like, lose forces up here. Can you withdraw? Can you withdraw? What if it was just our lord up here? We've actually almost killed their death hag. Actually, what if our lord also withdrew? What if all three of you got off the wall? Because it's terrifying and you need to be able to benefit from the invocation. This is not a thing we can do. Can we not climb back down the ladders? It looks like it's not. Okay, everybody killed the death hag then. And there's a lot of us. And the sirens are okay fighters. Yeah, we'll finish her off, and then I guess the plan is to go down off the wall inside of the settlement? I don't know what else we could do, really. Deckhands, get out there and save lives. Save lives by sacrificing your own lives. Nobly, bravely, desperately. Oh, our lord just died. We will never have another treasury sergeant. I've set a different position every time. Alright, let's see. Warders are doing good work. These guys are very dead. As are all of my sirens. Well, I think we may have spent this army. They really don't have much left, though. I'm a little surprised they haven't surrendered, honestly. The Death Hag's not actually dead, which is a shame. We are kind of having ammunition issues. Here's my other unit of deckhands. You guys focus over here. I'm thinking we may have to take control of a gate and get inside here. Once we're inside, the rest of our rifles can be much more effective. Yeah, I think my plan is going to be to take this gate. I don't think we have enough artillery power left to destroy one of the gates. We can just take control of that gate and then move through it. Let's see. Well, we definitely have range to start shooting at the Dark Riders. Not really much else of concern here. Yeah, I guess just start shooting at cavalry. The Death Hag is coming back. We gotta just get over here. Fight whoever we want. We just gotta make sure we are in the box when we're doing it. Man, look at all these winds of magic that have, sadly, just gone to waste. Alright, as soon as we have the gate open, we want to run in here and set up along this corridor. Is this terrain as weirdly uneven as it looks like? Yeah, kind of. I bet it's going to interfere with our ability to shoot. We know we're having problems with that in Dark Elf cities under circumstances that didn't even look that uneven. For some reason, they're shooting fireballs at their own Death Hag. Hey, go back and fight those Dark Shards. Don't let those people live. Let's make sure we're actually, like, opening the gate. We've had some weird issues with that in the past. So people who have a lot of health and a lot of ammo are first priority for getting through the gate. Right, I see some of you trying to go to the ladders. We're gonna fix this. You... No. Boy, he really wants... They really want to use those ladders. But, like... But what if you didn't, though? What if you didn't do that? What if you went through the gate like a sane person? Alright, there we go. Death Hag's broken. So all they have left is cavalry and characters, basically. You guys can come back. Probably stay on the wall.
Gunnery mob. Drown.
Alright, so they are interested in not allowing me to just set up. I think this is probably a good idea on their part. Gonna get us to move in sort of a flanky position. There we go. One of the gunnery mobs can hold them in place while the other gunnery mob ignores my orders and runs forward to get into melee? No. Come on. Some of them are going toward the place I told them to go. Unfortunately, the ones that have decided they would rather melee than follow orders are going to block our shots. It's important to remember that Dark Elves, by dint of not being undead, are not super good at fighting undead. Remember, like, even our most basic troops cause fear. And against any enemy that does not also cause fear, that's a big, big asset. Hey, guys, where you go? Okay, we're still having this problem. Yeah, just get inside. Get through the gates. Looks like we're mostly disengaging. Noticing not a lot of gunfire happening here, despite the fact that we do have like very direct shots. Oh, you know what I am noticing instead of gunfire is the running forward. Hey, don't do that. Is there something I can click over here? Well, I'm gonna put him in guard mode. I'll tell you that. So what I was kind of hoping is to have these guys attacking from an angle that allows us to actually shoot. Okay, hey, look. Some gunfire is happening. Excellent. It really does, like, they've been in firing position for, at this point, like, many, many seconds. Maybe even, like, a minute or so. I don't know why suddenly they can fire, and then... And look at that. As soon as they start shooting, all of a sudden, problem resolved. Stay on them. I mean, don't chase them, but keep shooting as long as they're in range. Alright, get over there. Unfortunately, the fact that their AI is causing them not to give up, even though they've 100% for certain lost the battle, means that we really have to do this pretty carefully to avoid them being able to come back into it in any way. Alright, you know what? We gotta get inside. Some people are gonna climb ladders for no reason. I'm just gonna accept that that is going to happen. Shoot them, please. Shoot them as they charge. They're coming. They're coming. Use your guns to kill them. Kill them with guns. No? All of my units are, like, completely trashed on leadership, in part due to that event. That's very unfortunate. And have these deckhands just like kind of stretch out right here in an attempt to prevent a flank. Okay, they'll back off again due to the fear. Apparently they still somehow have Winds of Magic left. Oh hey, we remembered how to use the guns. Neat. Yeah, let's try to get these guys down the alley a little bit. I want to be in a position where I can tempt charges and stuff, but without being in front of my gunners. Because I think they will do stupid things if we give them the opportunity. Okay, yeah, see, we're starting to get some fire in here. I hate the fact that these units are just like, well, I don't know, I'm wavering. I'm sitting here and obviously winning the battle, but I don't know about all this. Alright, there we go. We get some nice gunshot into the flanks on that charge. Not everybody can fire, it seems like, though. Units just falling apart while we are winning the battle. Once this unit's done for, that's all of their melee troops, right? Like, obviously, it's dangerous to advance while they're still not permanently broken, but I think I think I'm gonna go for it. Turn guard mode off for that one unit that was guard mode. Get him! Suffer no dark elf hero to live! Alright, let's just put guns in all of the corridors. Refocus. We must advance on them. Now here, the fact that they're cavalry archers while we are ground ranged is going to work against them because of the unit counts involved, and the fact that it's easier to hit a large unit than it is to hit a small unit. We just have so much more volume of fire. Alright, my units are continuing to just waver and fall apart for no reason, but I think we're going to win through that. And then, yeah, we need to sack this settlement instead of trying to occupy it. And we need to go into march mode and just full sprint away from the area, because otherwise we're going to get completely crushed. Although I guess if they ride out from Nagarond to attack us, that does leave Nagarond empty, and thus conquerable. God, if we just get them to break so I can refocus, that'd be really cool. The healthy unit's also suffering. You guys need to come from behind and murder their lord, preferably. Killing that lord is going to have a lot more effect on the battle than killing the sorceress. Fact is, at this point, that sorceress probably can't cast anymore. So she's kind of just nothing. She's kind of completely irrelevant. They are just not going to give up, though. They're going to make me actually kill each and every one of their units individually. Because that is where their leadership is at, apparently. Like I said, cavalry units don't really stand against the gun line all that well. Okay, permanently broken. A whole lot of you. Kill this lord. Everybody kill this lord. This is the only thing that matters anymore. If the lord dies, I have to imagine they will at least consider giving up. And this being a sword and crossbow lord, and there's a pretty good chance that she just stays on her raptor at a distance and shoots at us with her crossbow, which is going to work against her tremendously. Said, we don't seem to be having a great time getting bullets into her. A bunch of my units are just not even interested in trying to get a shot. Let's have some people set up manually here while the corner armies, or the corner units fire in. Trying to get out of the way here. Is there Lord's AI? Okay, there we go. She woke up. And still, despite the fact that there are now literally 2 Dark Elves on the map, my units are all like, I don't know about this. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this one off. And everybody's in. They're just not really shooting. Here we go. Well, that took forever. That's kind of frustrating, because I feel like my units give up way before the battle is over. These Dark Elf units never ever give up, even after the battle is 100% over. So that's one of their armies down. The settlement isn't actually lost. I guess there's a version of this where I do occupy it and I make them come over and drive me out because it pulls them out of Nagarond. Maybe that's the right thing to do. Pete Hodgesworth is dead. This army no longer has anything of value in it. Maybe the right thing to do with it is to use it as a distraction. I'm going to do that. Okay, and then we have no important lords, so I don't know. Death is probably wrong. Probably, I would like somebody of vampires who is an intrigant, maybe. Firestarter is not a very good one for us. Smuggler? No, not really. Plunderer? Gain loyalty from sacking and raiding. That's not ideal. I wish these were in, like, any kind of useful order. Recruiting and fighting with other pirate lords in battle. I don't know, maybe we will take a plunderer. See, this guy, I like the murderer trait quite a bit too. I think these are both great lords, except for the fact that death is not really the school of magic I'm looking for. Alright. Vampire Plunderer will have to do. There's like a non-zero chance he just dies, right? Also, I feel like we went 200 turns without the game randomly turning my camera for battles. I don't know why it has started happening now. The Great Arena kept its level 2 settlement, level 2 garrison building. So who knows? Maybe they will come after us and just kill us. But if they don't, this is actually going to build up a reasonable garrison.
The goddess forbids it.
Janesh could probably ride out, attack the Great Arena, win that battle, and then ride back in the same turn. Not really very far. I guess we just have to be ready to punish her for doing something like that.
All bones on deck.
Jimbo Sharp, the temporary, I mean, is ready, right? We could just march out. What I'm going to do here is we're going to move out a little bit. Because I don't quite have movement range on Nagaron right now.
Is it time? Very good.
Let's just fill up your army with stuff. I want to be a little bit closer because we want to be able to hit Nagaron if it should be left empty.
Standing by.
And without our good lords who have their movement bonuses and stuff, we're not guaranteed to get that.
Fall in, deckhands.
I guess we could move forward quite a bit.
Guts up.
We're not going to be able to keep Haggrafe's garrison in reinforcement range and also have attack range on Nagaron. And then I'm going to put them both in ambush mode, because we still have that ambush bonus, right? I don't know when this is going to end, if it's the end of this turn or like the beginning of my next turn. Hopefully it's the beginning of my next turn. Alright, let's see if they fall for that. If one of those ambushes gets broken but not the other one, there's a good chance they ride forward and then we maybe can catch them with superior numbers. Well, Amstrel needs to keep riding up here.
Yes, at once. Fold the sails.
Let's get into a position where we can threaten Poxmarsh next turn, because it looks like we're going to have to take it.
This is impudence.
Hard to say exactly how good his army is. He has a lot of vampires, and vampire characters are very, very good fighters. Also pretty good wizards. They're just really good.
What is your demand?
Do I want to move further forward here? I think we'll have movement range on it. I'm just in camp right now. Waiting on a lot of reasonably good lords to come back. Okay, so what was the treasure map that wasn't all the way over in the mountains? Legends speak of eternal life should you seek the season that follows winter and discover the Scarlet Pools. So we're following a spring to its source, which is Scarlet Pools, I guess. And it looks like we are... So here's this border here. So we need to go a little bit more east before we're going to be able to see what this is talking about. Scarlet Pools, huh? Probably won't be too hard to find. I don't see a source of water. Well, we'll keep looking.
On deck.
Can't help but notice there's an awful lot of skeleton dudes just kind of hanging out, not helping me fight dark elves. That seems like a tactical error on my allies' part. This is their moment of weakness. Let's take advantage, shall we? Alright, let's see what they do. If they don't go after the Great Arena pretty quickly, it's going to start building a reasonable garrison, and then they're going to be in some real trouble. Oh, only one of the ambushes failed. The enemy failed to spot Jimbo Sharp's ambush. We got him. I will say that this is not a force where I feel like our ambush is particularly significant. It's a lot of cavalry. They have some Cold One missile chariots with anti-infantry missiles. They have 2 flying manticores, a bunch of cavalry. I mean, let's do it, but this is a little scary. And at this point, we don't need a... we don't even really need a decisive victory, because Silostra is close enough that if we can just manage to do a lot of damage here, she can run in and do cleanup almost certainly. So some of how we settle up here, or some of how we set ourselves, is going to depend on the direction of our reinforcements. Okay, we can probably do better than 0 wind. Alright, a lot of my reinforcements, or all of my reinforcements are coming in from this side. So I think I want to be on this side. You can see when you get a successful ambush, this might be our first real ambush, I think. We've suffered several of them, but this might be our first one where we're getting to set up. The enemy is in a narrow marching formation, and you get to put down however you would like in pretty much any part of the map. I actually think I want to set up way over here. I don't think it's beneficial for us to start way up on top of them. I know that that is an option that we have been afforded here, but I think what we want to do is make them come through the water, because that's going to be pretty bad for them and really good for us. We are way better at working in the water than they are. They have no range to speak of, so we really do want to take advantage of our range. Trying to make myself a little bit more resilient to manticore charges. Dude needs to be like right there. And Jimbo Sharp, the polearm of the deeps. Good luck with all those manticores, friend. Let's pop. Actually, with their units being as weak as they are, maybe Tide Call is actually a really good spell here. You can certainly do this, though. Is this... Okay, no, this is not Tim Fenn. This is a gunnery wight that's just begun training. Alright, what is most dangerous? Honestly, none of it is, like, super... I guess the Harganeth Executioners, if they got into us, would kill an awful lot of us. Start with that. No chasing... And we're just waiting for the reinforcements to arrive. They march, we fire artillery into their column. Let's see how long it takes them to actually respond to our presence. There they go. They're figuring it out. That was some pretty low damage artillery fire, honestly.
On your word! With haste!
Alright, so we brought in a Lord of the Vampires school, which I like. Just gonna go ahead and hit this now. May as well start filling the magic pool. Let's grab all these new rifles and maybe like set them up like this. We're gonna see some amount of enemies like trying to outflank us probably. And these guys could be moved elsewhere, but I don't know exactly where. We could do something like that, I guess. I don't know. I want them to be in a position where they can respond to incoming enemies, and the water is, remember, way better for us than it is for them. But I also don't want to be blocking shots. Yeah, look at these low-tier artillery, man. The difference between this army and Silostra's army is like night and day. Alright, that's an awful lot of bloated corpses. I don't have any idea what to do with you guys. Go this way. Probably just gonna get killed by chariots doing that, though. Alright, it's just about to be time to murder the cold ones. See that. I see those guys. Wow. That's a pretty good volley. Well done, everybody. Take a moment to reload. So the cold ones are dinosaurs, and a lot of dinosaur units, when they get low on morale, rampage instead of breaking. Just make sure we'll just focus all the fire front and center here. We will deal with the flankers when the time comes. All right, so I'm pretty much just gonna have these guys target enemies and run forward. I'm not going to try to waste a lot of time microing them at this point. If they get intercepted by cavalry, they get intercepted by cavalry. We are unlikely to have a whole lot of say in that one. Alright, so we probably want to take our middle gunners here and focus on the manticores really quickly. With any luck, we can actually get some of them down. Just waiting for one of them to land. I should focus on this manticore. I guess you can too. Yeah, we really just need to get through that manticore as quickly as possible. And this seems like a fine time for a tide call. We do not have overcast on this, apparently. Well, it goes pretty far beyond the end of the cone. Okay, let's fire it like right here. We'll get some damage done. Yeah, that was something. Awful lot of gunfire going up in the air there. Those manticores should be charging. Well, now they're rampaging, so they're going to charge whether they want to or not. Go for those executioners. This is the part where we micro these guys a little bit. Let's have our Lord run out in front and intercept. Those manticores went down fast. They didn't even really get a chance to move forward. Okay, pretty good. Pretty well done there, bloated corpses. I did not really leave anything to deal with the harpies. I kind of forgot they had harpies. I'll be honest with you, harpies are not units that are good enough for me to be worried about, so that's a lot of what happened there. Alright, the Blackguard are going down pretty quickly. Their Lord is going to have to die. But that aside, the battle's pretty much over, huh? Let's have all of these guys sort of reform right here. Almost none of my melee actually had to go out anywhere. Let's do this. How are these guys actually positioned? Okay, I think we're going to be able to shoot into the flank of that group. Let's have, like, these two units try that. And then, everything to this side of that really needs to focus on this Lord, right? And I guess you guys can just keep shooting at whatever presents itself. We do have some Harganeth executioners. Trying to get clever over here. And I guess we have some, like, free tide calls and stuff I can use to disrupt that. I suppose, do we have overcasting available? We do. Throw one of those out. Keep that unit alive until we can get rid of the cold ones. But this battle should be over any minute now. We're seeing a lot of very high leadership from these Dark Elf units. They really do not give up easily. Alright, hey, look at that. I think that was our first successful ambush of the game. But boy, was it successful. They really fell all the way for that. So they're going to be able to back off with 192 total figures, and we are going to pursue them relentlessly. I think the Dark Elves are broken now. I think that was it. They're going to be able to start recruiting armies a little bit further away from Nagarond and build them up like on the northwestern and eastern edges of their land, but we'll probably, my guess is we will not see another Dark Elf like group of forces before we eliminate them from the game. Unfortunately, it is going to take a little while to finish that eliminating them from the game thing, because they do have a lot of territory up here. It's mostly pretty bad territory, but they have it, and we have to take it all from them. We're going to have to actually wipe them all the way out. This is not going to be one of those things where I can take what I need and then go for a peace treaty. Alright, so if the Vampire Coast had taken Poxmarsh, that would have been a little bit annoying for us, because it would have meant that it was still not ours, but also we couldn't safely go get it. Oh, and the Khemri, of course, always know when we're busy. Well, we have the resources necessary to put together an army really quickly at the Star Tower. Just rely on the raised dead pool. I think it shouldn't be a problem to defend against that. We don't really need to win against the Khemri. We just have to make it so that their force is too weak to beat a buffed up settlement garrison. If we do that, they'll go home. We've seen it happen a couple of times now. Oh hey, Malekith himself showed up. This is what I'm really worried about. Vampire time. The other vampire factions are definitely like the major power that we have to worry the most about. The dwarves are actually more powerful than they are, but the dwarves are so far east. I have a hard time imagining them coming all the way over here for us. But the von Karsteins have land right on the coast, and they are massive. We are definitely going to be engaged in a life or death, or I guess death or death, struggle with them for the entire rest of the game. Alright, so that guy's headed down to make Peggy Rains' life miserable. I think we probably still have time to get that Regiment of Renown before we have to deal with them. Wood Elves are looking pretty weak right now, which I like to see. Hopefully that means it'll be a while before we see Durthu again. Alright, can we reach him this turn? Ronnie Jackson's ambush was foiled. Oh no! If Hodgson is back and ready to rock... I mean, like, we just have almost no useful stuff to research anymore, so I was just kind of researching anything that does anything. Bones McDonald's getting movement range bonuses. That's a pretty useful thing. So, I think this is probably where we're going to call it for right now. Where did we see Malekith? Malekith is in control of one of these tiny little armies.
I refuse.
Yeah, I'm pleased that we took the Great Arena because they no longer have the ability to really come after us here. We have time to rebuild. In fact, we're almost back at full health already. Zelostra won't be able to directly contribute to these fights for one more turn. We'll have her move around to, like, here-ish, probably. You know, just, like, get in a position where she could go after the Temple of Cain, or she could do this. And then I think next turn, we're going to take Naggarond, and we're going to completely shatter the Dark Elf economy. And then, we'll see. Like I said, I think it's just going to be scraps for the next couple episodes until we wrap them up. And then, finally, we get to sail east. So that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time to see us hopefully decisively put away our new foe. And we'll see you then.